It is mid-April and it is finally heating up. We're about to get our first 80-degree day and the garden is starting to come alive. Tons of new growth happening, lots of exciting stuff, so let's take a little tour. All right, let's start in the backyard here. I actually just put this in earlier this winter. Wanted to get a head start. I'm always a little eager. But yeah, let's get going. Salvia grejii back here in the corner. It's got beautiful pink flowers, not really popping yet. Next to it, an ornamental grass. But you'll notice 2 yuccas in the early stage. Both of those pulled off of a yucca I have in the front yard, and one of them ended up not being variegated. So that's pretty interesting. Got a bottle brush here. Not entirely sure which species of it is. It's called a callistemon, but I mean, there's so many kinds, I can't really tell. This is a Cordyline australis, and I have so many problems with these plants, but I don't know why. The rabbits have absolutely destroyed that one. Got another yucca, some ornamental grasses, some more cordyline. That one kind of struggling. I don't know if it's too much water. If you guys have these, please let me know what's going on. We just blew past some variegated flax lilies and another Salvia grejii to get to this beautiful pride of Madeira. Looks like it's popping out its first flower. It's grown almost twice its size in this short time. More yuccas and a variegated flax lily to another bottle brush. This one's more of a tree shape, but again, getting that repetition. And below that, we've got some yarrow, which I absolutely love. Provides a different texture and different size. This stays much lower to the ground. It's beautiful, has incredible flowers. I actually don't know which color those ones are yet, but that'll be exciting to find out. Got a white sage with another Salvia grejii. This one gets a little more sun, so it's starting to get some flowers. You can see just at the tip there. Another cordyline that's been destroyed by rabbits. So I've got this one caged off. Gonna see how it goes. See if I can let it grow. Here's another look at it. Just give you a kind of a stepped back version so you can see some of the textures. Got that white sage at the end there, which is getting kind of leggy. Not sure if that's maybe too much fertilizer or what. It's supposed to get leggy like that when there's not enough sun, but it's getting sun all day, so hard to tell. All right, on to the special succulent area with the rocks. I'm actually most happy with this. I just reorganized this area and I love it. I believe this one right here in front with the flowers is a sedum. I'm not super familiar with all this, but I love these little flowers. And I've stepped on that plant. It broke off and it just started growing again. So pretty cool. Got an Aeonium sunburst in the back there. It's doing pretty good. Another bottle brush, a yucca. And this is what it looks like from a different angle. You see that coral aloe in the corner with these beautiful flowers. I love this thing. It had horrible root rot when I purchased it. I cut all the roots off, set it, and it just came back alive. And as we step back here, that is my macadamia tree. And yeah, surprising, I know. You can grow macadamia nuts here, and it is a beautiful tree. Those little spires that are coming down are the future flowers, and that's where the macadamia nuts form. So really love this tree. It's such a cool experience, but the damn squirrels eat almost all of them. If I get 80 out of 1,000 nuts, it's a real surprise. You should see their little mouths just stuffed with nuts. Whatever. All right, got some backup plants here. Don't know where they're gonna go. A potted olive and a potted avocado. This is a Wurtz avocado, and it's starting to wake up. It's definitely a little droopier looking. The leaves, not my favorite, but I do like the idea of having a smaller avocado tree. And maybe eventually I'll plant it. But for right now, it's going to live in that pot. This area over here is going through a huge transformation. I've been working real hard on this. I had to pull out a loquat tree. It was really mature. I loved the tree, but it had horrible fire blight, and it was just time to move on. So I wanted to create some cool elevations here, add some extra dirt, got the rocks in there to give it some life, kept the plant theme going, lots of variegated flax lilies, more yarrow, and then wanted to add some specialty plants like this scarlet monardella, the Marion Sampson. It has a really cool flower, not quite ready yet, not blooming, but maybe by the next garden tour we'll be in good shape. Another Salvia Grigii. And yeah, just some cool things. There's a yucca back there, a couple other new things. Maybe we'll talk about those another time. But for now, let's move on to something else I'm really excited about, and that is my new avocado tree, the Mexicola Grande. This one's special because it's cold tolerant down to about 18 degrees, which is rare for avocados. It's extremely thin-skinned, like a fruit. You can eat it, and it's putting on new growth right now and got some flowers popping, so we'll see how that goes. This is a kangaroo paw. Love this plant, but the rabbits have just been eating it to death, so I've got it caged up for now. More yarrows. These are a different flower color, I believe, but we'll see that when things heat up just a little more, maybe the next garden tour. And this is the path to my side yard. Got probably too many weeds right now. Need to get on that. Keep it nice and tidy. And my Meyer lemon tree, which I've had potted for a while now, it's doing really good, coming back to life with that spring bloom and fresh new leaves. But it's even got some lemons on it that are still maturing right now that were blooming late fall. So this is a pretty cool ever-bearing lemon tree. And right behind, we've got a desert willow. I've got one on each side of the path, and I intend to keep these small by pruning them. They can get, I think, 15 to 20 feet tall, but they're pretty decorative, cool, purple flowers, and I just thought it would be good to frame the fence. And behind the fence, I've got some citrus trees. I got this Valencia orange, which is popping off right now. So many fruit, looking good. And right next to it, got the ruby red grapefruit, which is yet to blush, so those still need a little bit of time, but they are delicious. Yeah, you might remember from my previous video about the citrus that, you know, there was quite a bit more room in here, but it is blossoming like crazy, blooming, new growth, hardly any room. So probably gonna have to cut that back. We'll see how that goes. And on to some new additions behind the patio. Got a beauty plum right here and a Fantasia nectarine. I made a video of planting and prepping this for the year, and you can see it has paid off. It is looking real good, and can't wait for that thing to get a little fuller, a little thicker, and get some delicious fruit. There they are in the back behind this olive tree and this nice little area, the start of the rock riverbed to the patio. I pruned this olive tree not that long ago, as well as this one, and I'm actually making a video about it, so check back, subscribe if you're interested in that. And can't wait for these things to get quite a bit bigger. They're going to provide beautiful shade, and they frame up the horseshoe pits, so we'll actually be throwing horseshoes between them, which will be nice. Got some new flowers in here this year. Forget what all these are called, but when they're more in bloom, maybe next month I'll give a little more in-depth review on these. And this right here is one of my favorite plants. It doesn't look so great right now, but this is a Tacoma Bells of Fire, and it is beautiful. This thing pops off with like trumpet style looking flowers, orange and red, just so beautiful. The hummingbirds love it. And here is the horseshoe pit. You can see kind of framed up between those two olive trees. That's partly why I'm pruning them, so I keep that nice lane. And moving on to the front here. Despite the yellow foliage, this is actually a lavender. It's a Portuguese variegated lavender, and just the leaves themselves smell so rich. You actually don't even need the blooms, but it does bloom purple as well. And there's a Hesper aloe, pretty mature now. I think I planted this 4 or 5 years ago.
as well as those lavenders. And this is blooming. More shoots this year than I've seen before, so those will be popping out and more visible pretty soon. There's some more ornamental grasses. I got a more normal lavender over there. And one last little look here at another sage that's just hidden behind some more of that Portuguese variegated lavender. And on to the other side of the front yard, got some snow crystals over here, pretty common Home Depot plant, some Dianthus, and a Texas sage. This thing is so awesome. It blooms like crazy once it gets hot enough, and it keeps those blooms a long time in the summer, almost all summer. Another variegated yucca right there. That's the one that bloomed out last year and gave me all the pups that I put in the backyard. Got a little Dianthus garden here. Tons of different types and colors. Love when these things bloom. They already got a decent little bloom going right now, but those will get even better within the rest of the month. And you may recognize this front area. I did a landscape garden refresh video on this, and I've even updated it since then. So gonna include that in kind of the major overhaul video that I'm gonna put out in the next couple months. And one more Texas sage right there, beautiful. Got some fresh new flowers as well, and can't wait for these to get a little more exciting when that heat comes. Can't remember the names of the tiny ones, but these front ones right here like this are Calibrachoa, and they bloom like crazy and grow pretty quick. So good to see those in another month or two. And skipping through past some Dianthus to this pineapple guava, which was from mine and my wife's wedding. We used it as an accent plant next to our feature wall, and we finally were able to get it in the ground this year. So excited to have that. Got it right next to this pink breath of heaven, which has tons of bees on it right now. So when that pineapple guava starts to bloom, it is going to get pollinated real quick. And looking forward to trying some more of those fruits this year. Had some really good ones, had some not so good ones, and that's kind of what I've heard. So kind of interesting there, but the good ones are definitely worth it. And back on into the backyard, where I've got a little fruit orchard, a little concrete fruit orchard that's just waiting to get planted on this side hill. Gotta build a retaining wall at some point. Got way too many projects going on as always, and need to pace myself. So maybe that'll happen later this year, maybe next year, who knows. But really excited about some of these fruits, some interesting ones, some apriums, some pears, some other cool stuff. But that'll have to do for now. First garden tour in the books. Hope you enjoyed it. Got tons of other projects gonna be doing this year. So stay tuned for some of those. Subscribe and follow along, and let's watch this growth journey happen together. All right, see ya.